Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. How are you doing, my friend? My name is Talia Joy, and I'm slightly chuckling because I feel like I'm living in a madhouse today. Not really, but sort of. So, if any of you are parents and your kids are home from school, it can be a lot. And so today is my work day. I'm recording, my husband's with them, but sometimes all I can hear in the hallway is like, no, it's my turn. And I'm like trying to get in my zone. I'm talking to clients, I'm channeling all zen, and they're like fighting and chaos. Now, actually, I have my dog at my feet because she's moved in here because the house is kids arguing and whatnot. So she's moved her way in here to be like, Mom, can I just be in your office? I'm like, sure. So who knows what you're going to get today. It's summer. My windows were just open because, again, it's summer, and someone's out mowing their lawn, someone's talking loud in the neighborhood. It's just, there's a lot going on. There's a wasp stuck between the window and the screen. It's just a lot, you know? It's a normal day, but it's a big one. So if you hear the odd noise, maybe dog feet on the ground or kids arguing in the hallway or a husband saying it's lunchtime or something, just know that that's the zone that we're in today. Okay, so enough about that. Hello, welcome. I am so glad you're here, and I hope you're doing good today. I hope that you're well rested and well slept and you've been taking your supplements. Have you been looking after your energy, your body? Have you gone on a walk lately? I truly hope that you have. And as always, no matter how you're feeling today, whether it's an up day, a down day, a heavy day, a weirdo day, a gooey day, a powerful day, we're in this together because that is life. It's a myriad, it's a patchwork quilt of different types of days. Are you with me on that? Anyway, I hope you're well, and however you are, you're welcome here. This episode today, I'm so excited about because I want to talk about manifestation, and we talk about, like, I've built my entire business, or I should say this iteration of business, because I've had a few different businesses, but this one has been built entirely on manifestation. And in the last year, I have shifted my tone, and I'm not talking about just manifestation as much because I've seen it as now a fuller picture, and we cannot neglect the healing and the emotional awareness and the conscious and subconscious reprogramming and habits and all these other things. Manifestation really is an accumulation of you evolving. A manifestation is not just something we do in some part of our life and not in others. Manifestation is your personal transformation with fairy dust. And so we're going to talk about what that means. Because manifestation, even if you go to, like, you know, the big manifestation teachers you can think of or something, when you really look at their work, it's never just say this mantra, under the moon, money's going to come. You know, do this thing with this crystal and it is 100% going to come in. Manifestation really is releasing, you know, negative thoughts or changing your beliefs around the things that you're calling in, around yourself. And then it leads you into healing your self-worthiness. And you go, why do I feel that about myself? And it leads you through this huge journey. Manifestation is not just some quick fix, magical thing that is separate from your everyday life. People are manifesting all the time. Every single person who has succeeded in absolutely anything, from big or small, you could call it a manifestation. So they may not call it a manifestation. Some big, like, business guy, investor that's created a lot of success for himself, he may not say, I manifested this. But in the same sense, it was created. That is what it is. Manifestation is the process of creation, but it's also the process of personal transformation. So the differentiating factor, I think, is when we say manifestation in this type of community, if you consider yourself a seeker or slightly spiritual or very spiritual or curious or whatever, it's the fairy dust. That's the part of it that is different than just straight up personal growth. And what I mean by that, and we're going to get into that in the episode, but when you focus on manifestation, you are opening up to co-creating with the universe. You're seeing signs, you're seeing synchronicities, you're open to intuitive guidance, you're acting on your inspiration, you're practicing your faith. That, I think, is the difference. But that's the fairy dust. The bulk of manifestation is personal transformation and is growth. So we're going to dive all into that. I'm going to share with you as we go along too examples for things like money and health and, relationships and everyday stuff, so that you can see how to manifest something is to personally evolve into that version of you, but also how we can use that fairy dust so that it can happen quicker. It can happen in a way that feels more aligned. Right now, I'm looking at my clock. It's 1:11. So that's our signal. Let's do this. I'm really excited to talk about all things manifestation today and really bring it down to the ground, while also showing how we can open up to the magic part of it. And before we dive into that, I just wanted to mention two things. First, the retreat, the Awakening Retreat, a sacred pause, a nourishing activation, and a leap forward all in one weekend. So 3 nights, 4 days off Vancouver Island for spiritual souls who are ready to awaken that sacred self, to return to inner peace, to light that fire. You don't need more information. You need the space. You need the support, the soul connection. It's not about taking a break from our life or getting away from our life. It's where we go so that we can truly return to our life fully, with clarity, with presence, with focus. I am so excited. So September 19th to 22nd, 2025, check out the show notes for the different options, everything from shared room to VIP. All of the information is on the page, so check that out now. The second thing is the app, the Path app. Have you checked it out? Join for 5 days free. It is so good. It's like peace in your pocket, resources in your pocket, from articles to meditation, sleep audio, background music. It's everything you need on this awakening journey to really dive into yourself and have a place to sacredly scroll. And I cannot wait to see you over there. Join for 5 days free. You can check it out, look around, see if it's for you. Check it out, the Path app. The link is below. Okay, with that, let's dive into today's episode. Okay, so today we are talking about something that may shift the way you see manifestation from here on out. So, as I mentioned in the intro, manifestation isn't just magic. It's self-evolution with fairy dust. We think of manifestation often as a mystical practice, right? And often, I bet if you Googled, I'm not sure, but if you Googled, how do I manifest? It might come up with vision boards, scripting, meditating in a certain candlelight or by the moon, or affirmations, or making a list of what we want, taking inspired action. And this is all very true, especially the action part, but this is all very beautiful. I love my candles. I love working along with the moon. I definitely have crystals in my bra from time to time, and I believe in all of these things. And if we strip it down to the truth, manifestation is really personal transformation. It's healing. It is that aligned action I was just saying. It's nervous system regulation. It's becoming the version of you who can hold and embody the life or the thing that you're calling in. So I'm laughing given what I said in the intro. I don't know if you could just hear pounding. It's just my son who's 5 on a drum kit. So yeah, mom's recording, time to do the drums. Anyway, we're good. Again, it's this evolution into that version of yourself that you see in your mind's eye. So even if you are manifesting a specific goal, if you're someone who thrives with a goal or an end result vision, that's awesome. And along the way, whether it's money or success, or maybe it's writing your book or finding a partner or getting a dream job, whatever it is, there's the version of you that is in that. So I want you to think of a goal you have, maybe just something simple or something kind of straightforward. And now imagine the version of you that is in the thriving health, that is living in abundance. That version of you has a whole vibe, and that's the part. Manifestation it's not a process where something just drops in out of nowhere. It's a process of you becoming that version of you. And from there, we understand things like the law of attraction and the law of cause and effect and all these other things that basically state who you be is what you will attract more of. Sorry to finish that sentence. Who you are being is what you are going to attract more of. The universe doesn't just hear what you want, it hears what you are. It sees what you are. It responds to what you are. So a lot of us start out on the manifestation train, and maybe it was around the time of The Secret, maybe it was before that, maybe it's been since that, maybe it's recently. And we look at it like, how do I manifest money? How do I manifest health? And so if you've been in this for a while, you might go into a manifesting money program. And really quickly, they start talking about your beliefs with money. Okay, what do you believe about money that's holding you back? Well, it feels like money's really hard to get, or there's never enough. Okay, why do you believe that? And then immediately we start going into inner child work or healing work. Oh, I grew up in poverty, or my mom always stressed about money, or, we never had enough. Okay, and then we need to heal that. Doesn't that sound a lot like self-development, right? So even staying on the money topic. And then we'll go, okay, it's also not just your money beliefs, it's who you're being with money. Are you hiding from money? Are you present with your finances? No, I'm not. I'm doing this and this. Well, why do you think I do that? Okay, well, let's now rearrange the way we're thinking about it so we can show up differently with money, right? Again, sounds very much like self-development, personal growth, because who you are being is what you will ultimately attract. So even if you look at manifestation through the lens of like, how do I get this thing? It's still calling you to heal, to grow, to take action, to believe in yourself, to have confidence, right? Which again feels very personal development-y. So manifestation isn't a mystical process, and I'm going to get into the whole fairy dust part of it in a second. But it's not a mystical process in itself. And something I say, I think I said this in the intro, but you could exchange the word manifest with the word create really easily. So how can I create $1 million by the end of 2026? I don't know, right? That could be the same as how do I manifest $1 million? How do I manifest a meaningful business? How do I create a meaningful business? So there's a part of manifestation that's not only growth, it's straight up creation. We have to create the things we're seeking. If we want higher health, we can't just sit on the couch and affirm without doing anything to do with health. So instead of how do I manifest my healthiest body, it's how do I become in my healthiest body? How do I become, in a body I love? How do I have the healthiest, most thriving frame? That's really the same question as how do I manifest it? It's not that mystical. We can't avoid taking action in the name of manifesting. And I don't think there's any true manifestation teacher that would say that you don't have to do anything, because the physical is where it's where the manifestation lands. So for example, if you're asking for money, the money doesn't come from nowhere. There has to be something physically that happens. It could even be buying a lottery ticket. It could be putting your book out there. It could be making an investment or getting a new job or going for the promotion. But somehow the money has to reach you. And that's in some ways why we take action. Because if I'm just praying for health, the health needs an avenue to reach me. So if I all of a sudden am inspired to walk more, or to go to yoga or go to Pilates, maybe that's partly how health is going to reach me, right? So again, it's not mystical. It's actually quite practical. And I've had to learn this the serious hard way, because I've shared here before, I relate more to like the soul part of me and the spirit part, and being a channel, as we all have the gift of being. We all can do that if we choose to focus on it. But I'm always hearing like the higher consciousness thought and the oneness thought and the source, perspective. And that's all really amazing. And I always was going for like, I'm going to manifest it. I'm going to believe in it. I'm going to see it in the quantum. I know anyone can manifest anything. But when it came to putting things into action as a human, that was the harder part for me. I know I'm worthy of health, or I know that, anyone has the capability of anything. I don't feel held back by my age or by this or by that. I know that I could quantum leap in any area. The potential is there. But it was the human being able to commit to something, the human learning to love themselves, the human that had to show up for myself. So sometimes we try to bypass action with thinking positive and doing a meditation, whereas really the meditation and the thinking positive supports you in being able to get out there. It doesn't come from nowhere. If underneath we're not shifting our self-concept, what we think we're worthy of, the bravery, if we're not shifting anything underneath, nothing in our physical life can shift no matter what's on your vision board. The people that manifest exactly what's on their vision board, it's because energetically they've become a match, and that's it. Like, that's point blank. Not even meaning that's it. I mean, that's the truth. It couldn't happen any other way. You have to make different choices. You have to look at your obstacles different. You have to show up in a different way in order to manifest something different. Because it doesn't respond to just your thoughts or just what you think you want. It responds to who you're being, right? Manifestation, really, of course, you can have goals, specific goals, tangible goals, all that. But really it's asking, what do I want? And then looking inward and asking, who do I need to become to hold this? When I see successful, badass women that I've known in group programs before, and I've seen them evolve, and I can see this power come out in them and this success come out in them, and I witness it, I want to say to them, I see who you've had to become. It's not just the 100K months and I celebrate your 100K months. It's who you've had to become to hold this, to receive this, to show up. That's what I see. And so asking yourself, what do I want? And then looking inward and going, who do I need to become to hold this? Not in a performative way, not fake it till you make it, but in a healing, evolving, empowered way. I truly believe we heal to manifest. Not that's the only reason we heal is to manifest. I mean, in order to manifest, it's also a healing journey. It's a self-growth journey. And your manifestations are always going to ask you to see who you are being in relation to it. So if you want love, are you being loving toward yourself? Are you in the vicinity of love? If you want more money, how do you feel safe receiving, or do you feel safe receiving? Are you in your life force energy, in your confidence? Are you magnetic? Do you have a relationship with money that breeds things like success or, an upward slant? If you want health, are you being healthy? Are you in the vicinity of health? Are you doing little things to drip health into your experience? Are you listening to your body? It's not just about trying harder. It's about being aligned with who you are becoming, because that's the part too I see as a channel. When I look at the soul level, your soul is all about who you are becoming or what you came here to become. And P.S., it is what you already are. You don't really need to change yourself. I know it's confusing, but it's about becoming the fullest expression of who you are. And that's where your manifestations live. That is for sure where the abundance lives. That is for sure where the health lives, where the love and enjoyment of life lives, is in that fuller expression of who you are. And how do you move into that? It's self-growth. So if somebody asks me, how do I manifest more money? Or how do I manifest a healthier body? The real answer is you self-develop your way into wealth. You self-develop your way into health. Manifesting money is basically equals becoming wealth ready, becoming an open receiver to wealth. So asking yourself, how do I interact with money? How do I interact with lack or scarcity? Do I feel safe receiving? Do I feel safe to put myself out there to receive wealth for my work? Or can I go for the job promotion? What is your relationship to being wealthy, being a CEO of your life? What would that abundant version do? Does she have investments? Are they taking risks or investing in themselves? Is it education? Are they starting a business? Are they, selling their art or whatever it is? What are they doing to be abundant? Because it doesn't just drop into your driveway overnight. It's you becoming that version of you. And in some ways, the sooner we really get that, the more for me, it lights a fire under my butt to be like, okay, health or, fitness or anything, it's not just going to drop in. It comes through me going on a walk. So let's go on a walk or doing this workout or doing Pilates or whatever it is, lifting some weights. Okay, let's do that because it doesn't happen for you. It happens through you. And it will develop you. It will ask you to look into the depths of why you might sabotage or not feel you're worthy, or why you feel, emotional weight is held, or whatever it is. It'll cause you to keep developing. So then when we're talking about money or we're talking about health, we have to then go out and do the thing, one small micro shift at a time. Sometimes they can be big, of course. But with money, can you, clean up the way that you're paying bills and set alarms for yourself? Can you talk to your bank about investments? Can you look at different job opportunities that might pay you more? Can you increase your rates in your business to reflect more of your, what you give? And also when it comes to wealth, can we relax into a more abundant mindset rather than a lack, scarcity mindset? Can we become an open receiver of wealth? Can we become an open receiver of health? Because you need to be healthy to be healthy. We can't shame ourselves into health. We can't restrict ourselves and punish ourselves into health or into healing in any way. So we need to drink the water. We need to go for the walk. We need to prioritize rest. I say all this when I do the intro, like, how are you? For a reason. We cannot be a clear channel, healthy vessel, abundant phoenix rising from the ashes when we're not looking after ourselves. We have to become that healthiest version, because manifestation isn't separate from your life. It is your life. If I said to you, like, you're going to always just attract exactly where you're at right now, exactly who you're being right now, does that make you want to be something different? Not be something different, but go on the walk, sign up for the class, take sort of control of it in a way, move yourself forward. Like if I said to you, life is a mirror and where you are right now, you're always going to attract more of, but it pivots with every single action. So if you go chug a liter of apple cider vinegar water, that's going to help your gut and that's going to move you in a slightly healthier place. If you put on your shoes and go for a walk, that's going to move you into a slightly healthier place, because you will always manifest what you are being right now. So if you talk some loving words to yourself, that amplifies out into the universe. When you pay your bill on time, that amplifies out into the universe. When you know your worth, when you take an action. Let's talk about the fairy dust, because we cannot miss the fairy dust. The part we really love about manifestation, you, I, old souls, you, me, not I, you, me, old souls, all of us. The magic here is when we start aligning, as you start asking the universe for clarity or your guides or angels, you ask for a sign. This is where the universe meets you. So this is the difference. Everyone or someone could create success, but if they are co-creating with the universe, it's going to be more magical and more fulfilling than they could imagine. They still need to create it, but it's going to be so much more ease-filled and meaningful and fulfilling than if you just go out and hustle your way into success. So the magic fairy dust is when we get into alignment and we ask the universe or we pray or, God's spirit, highest self, we get into alignment. We're in touch with our intuition. The universe comes, the synchronicities start to begin, where we notice someone mention the same course or the same thing. Or we start thinking like, I would really love to make like this much money. And a random position opens up within the company you work for. Synchronicities. People recommend the same book. Things come into your life. People come into your life that you get a nudge, you get a whisper, you get an intuitive feeling. And when you say yes, it kind of jolts you forward. That's the manifestation piece. It's a portal. We are offered portals so that we can quantum leap. And when you're open to them, when you're aware of them, when you work in co-creation, you start to notice those synchronicities. You notice when you get goosebumps. You notice when you're drawn to someone or when you're drawn away from something. This is where ideas drop in. And because you've put your focus, you go, oh, an intuitive download, or like, oh, yes, that just came to me. Yes, I got to do that. And then you take action. So the universe comes and helps you. They offer bridges, your spirit team, your grandma in heaven, your entire team that's working for you. And if you relate or resonate with God or source or spirit or anything else, you have cosmic power on your side. So you still need to walk the walk. You still need to, self-develop. But as you open up to that magic, as you ask for guidance, as you, do the manifestation bit, that is when the synchronicities come. The nudges get louder. The timing becomes divine, where you're like, oh my goodness, what are the chances? Like I did this little thing, I was nudged, and then all of a sudden this happened and that happened. Like, holy crap. It feels like fun, magical. It blows your mind. That is the manifestation piece. That is the fairy dust. But it does not come before the other work. Of course, things can drip in, and your guides are always trying to guide you. But as you do the healing work, as you do the self-development work, as you've been doing, you release resistance. You start believing in yourself more, believing in your confidence. You start becoming that version, and then the magic starts happening. The unexpected check shows up, not because you wrote it out 130 times in your journal, but because now you're becoming a magnet. You're being a magnet for abundance. So you're going to get deals, and your peanut butter is going to be 2 for 1, and you're going to get an incredible rate on a reno project or, whatever. Things are going to happen because you're a magnet now. So if you've been feeling stuck in manifestation, really ask yourself in respect to your goal or in regards to your goal, however you want to say it, have I really shifted who I'm being? Am I being health, love, wealth, whatever it is? Am I waiting for magic, or am I also taking inspired action and open to the magic? Because it pains me to say it, but it's also, again, what we need to hear is like, it's on you. You can create health. You can create wealth. You can create change. It is on you. The universe will back up. Life will back up whatever you choose because they love you that much. So it's on you to create it. It's on you to take the action. And when you do, and when you open up to that magic piece, again, noticing the synchronicities, the things that are recommended to you, the things that come through life, the way life guides you, the way that synchronicities happen. So ask yourself, have I shifted who I'm being? Have I been waiting for magic? Have I been... Even like take your goal or your intention and go, have I been self-developing into a healthier person, a wealthier person? And that is where we continue to go. So this is exactly what I help my clients with. This is where my gifts lie, where I can feel where you're at and I can see what it is that you want, and we bridge that gap. So if you feel the pull to, have help, to have support in this time, I am taking a couple of clients over the summer. I have a few spaces. Spaces are definitely limited. I would love to chat it up, talk it over. You can reach me down below in the show notes, as well as the retreat. This is really what it's about, shifting who you're being in order to magnetize. Healing to manifest, stepping into that identity. So I'd love to see you at the retreat as well. And other than that, I hope that this resonated, my friend, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I genuinely hope that it served you. If you feel like you're in the give and back mood, I would be so honored if you left a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to the podcast. It really does help so much. And if you're looking for books to integrate into your life, to create daily practices, to keep you on your path of self-growth and awakening, you should check out my Amazon store. I've got a few daily practice style books that you can choose from, including Manifest This Shit, which is a coloring and activity book for manifestation. We've got the brand new one called Both Sides, which is a daily practice. And we've also got the bedtime ritual. So you can check out the link for that as well as other things in the show notes below. And I will see you in the next episode.